Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome back to episode 4 of Interlaced podcast by Ummati Community with your host, Sara Ahmad. Today, I have a very, very, very special guest with us here. It is Rabia Fatima. She is our lovely co founder for Ummati Community. I have been wanting to do this podcast for the longest time. Like Rabia, I've always been thinking, we have plans of having so many different types of guests, but we don't have the co founder in our episode just yet.
I
So
know,
I'm so happy.
finally.
Finally, alhamdulillah, everything worked out. So I'm so happy that you're on here. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners and our viewers so they know who you are.
Well, my name is Rabia Fatima, and I'm the co founder and the president of the Dallas chapter. And I'm really honored to be here. I'm so glad we finally got the time to get this started and get this rolling. And I'm really happy to be on our podcast.
Alhamdulillah, yeah, Rabia is a very busy woman, mashallah. She not only does she have a growing family, mashallah, but she's also a fellow entrepreneur. She is not only a marketing professional, but she also is an entrepreneur herself. So she is juggling like a bajillion hats, just like a lot of the women who have come on the show, mashallah, and she does such a splendid job with all those things. So definitely an inspiration for me, alhamdulillah. So one of the biggest reasons I really wanted Rabia to be on the show was because I think it's very important for our listeners to understand, not just from me. I want them to hear from you, right? Like how Ummati came to be, and they're like, can you believe it's almost been 3 years? Subhanallah, like we started May of
Yes.
2022. Alhamdulillah, like we're gonna be hitting our 3 year anniversary this year.
I'm
Like it's
excited.
insane to me too. Like it's insane to see that like it's we've been hosting for 3 years. And if you guys don't know, fun fact, I love to host, but equal amount of that excitement, Rabia also loves to host. So we're just like two people who just love hosting people. And alhamdulillah, a lot of our ideas just come together like that. We'll just talk about something and we'll see if we can make it happen, right? Like how do you come up with inspirations with events that you want to host with Ummati?
So, majority of my inspiration for anything comes from Pinterest and other reels. I live off of Pinterest every single day. 3 a.m. in the morning, you'll see me on Pinterest and TikTok.
Mhm.
And my For You page is filled with how to host certain events. If Galentine's is, for instance, Galentine was on the way. And my whole For You page was filled with how people are finding hacks on decorating and where to get the decor, how to set certain things up. And this time around, the theme was bows. So my whole news feed was filled with DIYs on how to do bows and everything. So any inspiration that comes into play, my first go to is you, Sara. I'm like, hey, I saw this. Can we do this? I think we can do this. Or apart from all the inspirations, of course, coming from our team as well. Whenever we have our team meetings and any ideas they bring to board, like for instance, tote bag baking has been such a hit in our events, and
Yeah,
that
that's true.
beautiful, amazing idea came from Khadija. And every single, a tote bag painting event has always been our sold out event. So all these
Mhm.
ideas come not only from Pinterest and TikTok, but also from our amazing team that we have.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on the team. Like I'm so glad you brought them up because they definitely deserve a shout out.
Oh
Like
yeah.
our team, mashallah, in Dallas, in Fort Worth, and in Houston, and in Little Rock, alhamdulillah. By the way, we are growing our team in Little Rock. So if
Alhamdulillah.
anyone is in this area, please reach out to us. We want to have more volunteers on our Little Rock team. But alhamdulillah, honestly, I think we've even talked about this too, Rabia. Like we've always, I think in the beginning we were just concerned like would we be able to find people who share our values and who share the way we want to grow Ummati and the values that we bring to the organization and just the type of atmosphere we want our events to have, right? Like we've
Mhm.
talked about how we want, like just because we're not there, we could be involved in something else, or let's just say for some reason we're unavailable to attend an event. Our team should be capable enough to be able to lead those events, right? And we were just a little apprehensive whether or not we'll be able to like find people who are like-minded like with us, right? And subhanallah, I feel like that is such, like that is a dua that Allah accepted, and that's something that we actually see on a day-to-day basis. Like mashallah, who would you say, like, not who in particular, but like why don't you share some of your experience of like, I know we've had some people who have left the team, some people have joined the team, just over the past couple of years, what has your experience been with that, and what are some of your takeaways?
So onboarding, I guess you're referring to onboarding volunteers, for instance. I think one of my favorite stories in terms of onboarding volunteers is when we hosted our previous, I believe a previous one or the one before that, our Eid picnic. And there are always these two girls who are always there in the end helping us clean up. Or else it would have just been me and you rambling around with everything in terms of cleanup, in terms of putting things away, driving and taking our carts all the way to our carts. These two girls, mashallah, may Allah bless them both, were always there
I
to
mean,
the end. And they were
mhm.
always there to help us. And me and you, I believe, were just sitting on the bench, and they were just, just relaxing with us. And we were just having a after party conversation with them mid cleanup. And I was just sitting there, and I was just looking at them like, why don't you just join us? Like, why are you guys just
I
you
rem I
exactly?
remember this. This was
Yes,
actually the sorry guys, a little sick, but I think this was the first year we hosted the Eid picnic. This was
yes.
in 2020
This was at that park, at Breckenridge Park.
at Breckenridge Park in Richardson, exactly.
Yes. Yes, so that story will always stay with to me, and I know one of them left because, consequences and times and how busy you can get, but the other one is
Yeah,
still with us, still staying strong and still bringing us amazing ideas and amazing help. And the other one is still visiting our events and still being part of Ummati. Even if she's not volunteering, she still comes to our events and enjoys them.
yeah.
And even if she's there not as a volunteer, this girl comes at Galentine's a few days ago. When she was there, she's like, hey, let me take videos for you since you're busy, let me do this for you. And I'm like, man, you're not a volunteer anymore. But she's like, hey, let me just help. Like, mashallah, these two
Aw,
girls genuinely were there to, like, they found value in Ummati. They found friendship
right.
in Ummati. They found this happiness and this comfort zone that they are automatically willing to help regardless of their role or not. And I love that.
Yeah.
And that will always stick with me. Like, alhamdulillah, mashallah, all the other volunteers came in and are here and are doing great. But these two girls will always stick with me forever.
That's such a beautiful story, and I totally forgot about it. I'm so glad you brought it up. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I feel like at every stage, whenever we have a thought like, oh, we need to add one or two more people on the team, or we need to add maybe three people on the team. And you're right, like for it could be any number of reasons why people leave. It could be for personal reasons,
Mhm.
work commitments, personal commitments.
Mhm.
They have a lack of time, whatever it is. Like I don't we're like very flexible. First of all, like alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah.
like the times we meet and whether we meet virtually or in person, we try to make our schedules as flexible as possible. But like I just like subhanallah, I feel like Allah has consistently just answered our du'as whenever it's come to this, because I feel like for us, Ummati Community is like our baby, you know? Like
It
we
is
have
a baby.
started from the very beginning, and I know we've had our hiccups along the way. What are some hiccups that you feel like were very big pivotal moments for Ummati Community that were like learning opportunities for us?
I think one of which comes from our love for hosting and our love for catering towards our members who come in, and also towards our volunteers. One of which I believe we've pivoted is in the beginning, me and you used to always end up uh, doing all the physical work in terms of decorating, in terms of making food, and in terms of all these little to big things. Everything was on our shoulders. And
Mhm,
even if we did have volunteers, we would also try to share that burden with them as well. And in terms
mhm,
of decor, in terms of putting things together, which resulted in me investing a lot into buying stuff in terms of like hosting picnics and hosting all these things. So I think pivoting from that physical hard work, and where we've come to a point where we have started working with different businesses and gaining
yeah,
sponsorships, and that has been such a big help towards Ummati. And that way we
mhm,
can focus more towards the meat of the whole event, where we are there in front and catering towards them in different ways, in more valued ways, compared to just decorating and stuff. Or else we would always be running around. We will never have the chance to communicate with these ladies. We barely would have like 5-10 minutes, and then we'd be like, oh, we have
mhm,
to go do this, oh, we have to do that, oh, that food, certain thing for food is not here, let's figure that out. So it was all on our shoulders, doing all the physical work, but having to work with different businesses and giving them the opportunity and opening doors for them has given us the
Yeah.
opportunity to focus more on the event itself. For instance, Galentine's, I'm going to keep talking about it because this is our recent event, and it was such a beautifully successful event, mashallah. Having an amazing decorator come into play. Remind me her name again.
Shout
So
out to Simply Stellar Events, Miss
yes,
Senna. You were amazing,
she was.
absolutely amazing.
She was.
Work. I can't wait to work with you again.
Everyone loved her work. So imagine us trying to we have the means for it. We have the decor, we have everything for it. But alhamdulillah, having that support and being able to support her business from our end, paying her for her hard work, and Simple Stellar Events was amazing. And mashallah, she did a great job in decorating. That would have been on our shoulders, especially me, because I love decorating. Like, I love
Yeah.
the drive that comes from it. But I wouldn't be able to focus on the other events. I would be really tired. So I think pivoting that from having to doing everything ourselves, but to actually hiring other businesses and opening doors for them has helped us a lot. I think that, from my mindset or from my point of view, has been one of the biggest pivot in our business in Ummati community.
I have to agree. I think with both of us who love hosting, and you guys just don't understand our love for hosting. Like we're kind of crazy when it comes to hosting. Like for example, me and Rabia both have a storage compartment
We
just with decor
do.
stuff. We love hosting so much, and we like to provide the best experience. And you're right, people just don't understand how much time and effort goes into it, right? And it
Mhm.
by the time you're just done decorating and setting up, it's exhausting.
It
So
really
you
is.
don't have enough energy to actually play the part of a host.
Yeah.
So you're right, like being able to outsource that, especially to like Muslim women
Mhm.
vendors. I think for Galentine's, all of our vendors were Muslim, mashallah. Like
Alhamdulillah.
I was reflecting on that. I was like, subhanAllah, like to make that happen, we were able to support like all the vendors we worked with were all Muslim. Like
Alhamdulillah.
mashallah.
Yeah.
And this just goes back to Ummati community, like the essence of who
Mhm.
we are, right? We want to be able to bring women together under, one people, one nation, like with our slogan, but then at the same time also be able to support these fellow Muslim business owners who are doing some great work, and we can just like work with them, right, and support their businesses that way. I think for me, my biggest like I think my story for like because alhamdulillah, like we're a growing community, right? Like
Mhm.
mashallah, I think when we were at the start of this year, I think we had like 1,500 or like under 1,500 followers or something like that. And we were stuck at that number for a while, and now we're like
Mhm.
over 2,000 in such a small period of time. And I just foresee us just keep growing with our accounts.
Inshallah.
But I feel like over the past almost 3 years, people have also learned, our community members have learned that we take accountability for our mistakes,
Definitely.
right? If there's something that, yeah, if something happens, we're able to like be like, we own up to it. We're like, okay, yeah, we understand that that was not planned very well. We are going to learn from this and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Mhm.
So one story that comes to my mind was actually, I don't know if you remember, but we had planned a go-karting event
Yes.
in Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm forgetting the place that we did, but I think for that event we weren't very clear as to like what the pricing structure was like. So
Yeah.
people assume that the $5 that they're paying for the ticket is
Mhm.
also the $5 for the go-karting. And then so a lot of people ended up leaving from that and they just didn't attend. Some people ended up staying because they were fine with paying the extra fees for the go-karting. And then we got a lot of feedback from that. So a lot of people were like, no, we didn't know about the pricing structure. So we left. You guys should be more transparent. So that was such a big learning opportunity. I
Mhm.
think from that point, we've just been transparent. Like we've been just talking about it, especially we have everything written out now where we'll tell people the $1, $2, up to $5 is just for the registration.
Mhm.
And again, guys, this is just because of our years of experience in this. When a person pays up to $5 for a ticket, that means they'll show up. Otherwise, when we had tickets, people were just selling out events and not showing up. So that was another issue we had to figure out.
Mhm.
But with this experience, we understood that okay, we need to be even more transparent. Give like a cost breakdown of what they should expect on site
Mhm.
versus where this money is actually going. So I think that was such a pivotal experience for me because I was like, we're never repeating this mistake again. So alhamdulillah, like I feel like stuff like that were just really important for us too, just for us to grow and learn and just be better at being hostess. Um, but yeah, alhamdulillah. What would be and I know you're gonna say Galentine's again, but what would you say is one of the best events we've hosted so far?
Let's see. If you don't want to mention Galentine's, I would say honestly our um oh, gotta put me on the spot. There's so many, okay? If
So
I
many.
won't be able to say just one. I can at least say a concept that we keep following. And I mentioned this earlier, the tote bag making. Any event that has an activity involved, I feel like people love it. We had the henna class with Maida. That was a hit.
That was really nice.
That was a
Yeah.
hit event, and people loved it. And she was
Right.
amazing at explaining. Everyone loved the way she was explaining. During the whole process, some moms brought their daughters so they can learn too. That was amazing. Our tote bag painting again. Our what else was there? Our candle painting. Our candle. I
Candle
believe
making was also
candle.
very successful. I think we did that a couple times actually.
Yeah, we did. And different locations too, since we see another thing
Right.
with about us, we see a success in an event, we try to do that in different ones. And alhamdulillah, that brings success in that form as well. That
Mhm.
what any event that involves an activity, I feel like it was a success. But you know what my favorite one is, which I didn't get to be at?
What?
Can you guess?
What? It's
You
the
were
trip.
there and I wasn't there. And I will always, always, always regret this. You want to talk about
Okay, so it's funny you bring that up
it?
because I just finished filming an episode with Samira Baji, who was from the trip, and we're just recapping the experience. And so, if you guys want to listen to more details of how that was set up, listen to the previous episode. But yeah, the fact that Rabia was not there, it was just such a strange experience because anytime there's like pivotal like life like big milestones in our lives, we're there for each other, and the fact that this was happening with our organization and she wasn't there, I was like, my god, something just feels missing. Something feels missing. But that trip, mashallah, I have to say was amazing. Local to Dallas events, I want to say I do want to give a huge shout out to Amanda Mutual Fund, the financial
Mhm.
workshop that we
Mhm.
did.
Yes.
I think the ladies in the community really found that information is super valuable, like how to invest in a
Yeah,
Sharia compliant way. And to have
definitely.
someone of knowledge to be able to
Mhm.
come and provide that type of information with printouts and a presentation and be able to answer all your questions, like we should definitely do that again. I actually
We
want to host
should.
something like that in
We should.
Houston.
And you know what
I already,
the beauty of that
yeah.
event is? This happened, I believe, a year or so ago, right?
Mhm.
Few days ago, this lady on a mom's group that I'm in now was asking, "Hey, there was an event revolving Amana Mutual Fund a while ago. Does anyone have his information? I want to talk to him." And I was on there and I
Really?
was like, "Hey, are you talking about the Ummati event that was hosted a year ago?" And she's like, "Oh my God, yes, that's the one." And people still remembered she was there. And I was like, "Oh my God,
Wow.
I'm the president of the Dallas chapter. Here's his information. If you need anything else, let us know." And she's like, "Can you guys please host something like this
Wow.
again?" So we definitely need to do
Wow.
that. We really need to do that again.
That is such a big win, subhanAllah. Like,
Right?
I don't know if I told you, but like alhamdulillah, we like if you guys don't know, me and Rabia are in a bunch of group chats, okay? So whenever we're planning events, we make sure we share it around and we circulate it in the community. But I think it was almost 2 years ago where I think I contacted a brother to help like with sponsorships or some logistics of an event, and I wanted some more information. And I think he was involved in the Valley Ranch Islamic Center community, and I think he was part of like a brothers only group chat, and he he had sent me a screenshot, and he was like, Sara, there are literally guys on here. Like one guy was on that group chat was asking, hey, do you guys know of any women events, that my wife can attend because like she's new in the area. And one brother recommended, he's like, have you heard of Ummati? Like, have you heard of Ummati Community? It's a women's only event. It's really great. Like your wife should go. I'm like, what's going on? Like even the guys know about what we're doing, Subhanallah. And I think that is like I still think about that day and I was like, Subhanallah, like we just started with an intention. We
Mhm.
just started with filling a need in the community because in 2022 there was nothing like this for women. There were events and organizations and specific events, but the cap was 25 years old. But
Mhm.
like I'm like, we're not 25 anymore. Like what about for people like us? So I still think about that and I'm like, subhanallah, it's such a short period of time, we've come such a long way, right?
Alhamdulillah, yeah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Oh my
Alhamdulillah.
God. I remember when we just thought about this, and I think you talked about our initial first event where it was just the volunteers who showed up. We posted online and we
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, people, come to cafe and let's," I think we went to Sucre Cafe. Was that the first one?
No,
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 no, it
no.
was Gongcha. It was Gongcha.
Yeah, it was Gongcha. Yes. So I
I
think I
still
wasn't
remember.
available that day. So it was your first
No, you
event.
weren't. It was my first it was my first event. It was also Ummati Community's first event.
Mhm.
It was in May of 2022 and subhanallah, and there was only 3 people, me, 2 other girls, and we were just all part of the organizers. Rabia couldn't be there. I don't remember why you couldn't. You had some
Life
sort of
happens.
commitment. Yeah, and I remember we worked together. Like all these 2 other ladies I was there with, I've known them for a while, but I didn't really know them. So
Mhm.
we went to Gong Cha in Plano, and I remember getting boba, and we just sat there for 3 hours talking. And when we looked at the time, we were like, "Whoa, like what just happened?" Like we've known each other, but we didn't really get to know each other until now.
Mhm.
And the fact that like time just went by so fast. So
Mhm.
we're like, okay, if the 3 of us felt fulfilled after this conversation, we were confident that inshallah in the future this could be something meaningful for a lot of women. So subhanallah, like fast forward up until now, like our Galentine's, right? Subhanallah, we had 90 people come to that event
Mhm.
and it was completely sold out, subhanallah. I think that was such a big event, and I'm so happy with the team, with both Dallas and Fort Worth accomplishing such big things. I wasn't there for that one, so
Yes.
yeah, I'm literally I was just taking turns at this point. I'm at an event and she's not there. She's at an event and I'm not there.
We
Subhanallah.
really
But
need to have like one of our big events where we both are present. Like we also hosted
yeah,
our first Chaand Raat, and unfortunately you couldn't make it. Like this being
yeah.
apart from each other is not helping our mental happiness.
Seriously, we just needed a event where both of us are there. Um, subhanallah. So going back to Ummati Community and the fact that we're about to hit our 3 year anniversary, right? What are some goals that you or some milestones that you like want to see Ummati hit maybe in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Like what are some future plans have you thought of, that you want to implement with Ummati Community going forward?
So this goes hand in hand with what me and you both discussed, right? It's not just Rabia only, but that comes with our thought and process about memberships. That is
Yeah.
something I really am looking forward to implementing and having members, someone who are people. We've seen so many ladies who are frequent in our events, ladies who find, benefit in here, building relationships. And even though they've made friends already, they bring new friends and come to our events because they enjoy it. So these
Mhm.
ladies deserve to have a membership. And I'm saying deserve to is because our membership is not something that's super expensive, something that's heavy on your pocket, right? We planned it in a way where it's going to be easy on you and you will also come to enjoy them. And considering how we're doing 5 to 6 events maximum and minimum sometimes to like the only time it's been minimum on the side note would be in Ramadan where we only do like 1 or 2 events because everyone's busy with
Mhm.
Ramadan. But that being
Right.
said, like I think these days these ladies deserve to have this membership because it's only going to be, I mean, $20 now. And it's in
Right.
$20 worth, you get to have like 4 events where you don't have to pay and you just sign up and you show up. And
Not just for events, you don't pay for any of the events,
oh
right?
yeah,
Like from the yeah, for the memberships, like if you're paying that $20 a month, all the events that you go to, they're all included. All the costs, like we'll take care of all the costs for you, right?
yes,
So like for
definitely.
example, like I think for Chaand Raat, our ticket per person was like 30 to $35. So if you're paying $20, and even if you
Yeah.
just come to not your money, right? Because you're
Yeah.
not paying for that. But again, all of your tickets, all of the tickets you want to go for that month, everything's
Mhm.
included. Um,
So
yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
that's one thing
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to. Apart from that, I think I would let's see. I'm looking forward to hosting more events or travel events where we get to travel
Oh,
more. I want to
yeah.
travel. Now that I missed the first initial event where we, got to go and explore, I want to go and I love traveling. And I've gotten the taste of it after I got married and we've been traveling a lot. So I want to do this with a lot of my ladies and I know me and you had our very first event, just me and you solo event. It was such an amazing
Solo
Colorado trip.
travel. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
travel, not event, sorry. Our first ever travel together, and that was so much fun. And I think I'm looking forward to a lot more of those little ones, less
Mhm.
little or big, however it is. And inshallah, inshallah, this is just me thinking and hoping for one day if all of girls go together and we do umrah together. I think that
Oh
would
my
be
god, that would be
beautiful.
amazing.
Inshallah.
Wow, Rabia, that would be inshallah.
Give
Guys,
God
Ramadan's
our
coming up.
best.
Dua, dua, we can do this. Make dua for this. That's an incredible. That would be amazing. Maybe
Inshallah.
we
That
can
would be
stop in Turkey, like on the way.
I know.
You know, we
That
just
would
stop
be
in Turkey.
like, dude, we girls, all we want to do is have fun, go to different cafes, eat different
Right,
foods, take a lot of pictures. You
right.
can't really do that when you have like a lot of men around and they want to do different things. And we will just be each other's photographers. We'll be each other's influencer
Yeah,
photographers. Like whatever you want, we
right,
will be there. Fashion
right.
advice, we're right next to you. You need extra pen,
Exactly.
we're right next to you. I just love. I
Exactly.
think this building of relationship, this sisterhood would be beautiful if we could just keep traveling more and more and more. And I
Inshallah.
remember, like, from the feedback we got from our first initial event that you shared with me, the ladies were crying of how beautiful and intimate and how like beautiful the building of each other's relationship was too. And if I could
Yeah,
experience that, that's all I asked for. And everything was
yeah,
paid for, everything was taken care of. Like we just want to be
right.
taken care of. Like we're done taking care of
Exactly.
others. We want to be taken care of, right?
Exactly. No, inshallah. That is amazing, Rabia. No, inshallah, let's make dua for that to happen. Some
Inshallah.
of my goals that I want Ummati to hit, inshallah, in the future is definitely the memberships that you mentioned. I
Mhm.
think that this one thing I wanted to add is with those memberships to make it even more attractive for our members, we are also trying to partner with brands that women already shop at. So with your membership program, you will also have discounts to all the brands that we're partnered with. So inshallah, we're trying to reach out to like abaya brands, hijab brands, makeup brands, perfume brands, all the brands that women naturally shop at. And hopefully we'll get a partnership with them where you can get a minimum 10% discount, right? This includes cafes and restaurants as well. So there is a lot of planning that goes into it, and that's why it's taking a little bit of time. Another big milestone that I want us to achieve is the website. So we do technically have a website. It is still a work in progress. I'm also a little bit of a perfectionist, so unless I have all the things that I want on there, I'm not making the announcement. But because we're talking about it here, you guys can definitely go on and browse it. It is functional, but there are some things that are some bugs, and it does glitch a little bit. So we're just working on fixing those things. Um, what else? There was one more thing. The travel, you're absolutely right. Um, I think that was everything. And of course this podcast. Honestly, like subhanAllah, like last year there was just so many wins, subhanAllah. Like we didn't in 1 year, starting 3 chapters is huge, right? And then planning for a podcast is also huge. And then in the same year, also doing a travel group. So like inshallah, I really hope and pray that Allah brings more like-minded women to us and we're able to connect with them and we're able to bring Ummati community to every city in the US, inshallah. And so that way, whenever a woman either needs to travel or move, for work or for her family or she's getting married or for school, there will always be a women's community there for her to reach out and be a part of. So inshallah, those are some of my dreams and goals that I want Ummati to achieve inshallah in the future. So Bismillah, like I'm telling you, like the Ramadan is literally like what 10 days away, I
Yes.
think. 8 days away. So this is prime time to make dua. Prime time.
Inshallah. Not even
Alhamdulillah.
10, 8 days. It's the 20th today.
Yeah, I know 20th. So March 1st, I think is
Yeah,
the first
inshallah,
day of
inshallah.
inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. Um yeah, I just feel very grateful that like Allah has granted us with the means and the capabilities of being able to bring something like this together. And I think another big differentiator, because I mean, you and I have both noticed that there have been more women organizations now. Like after we started,
Mhm.
there has been like a lot more popping up here and there. But I think, subhanAllah, our key differentiator is that like we don't have an age limit or an age like cap on our events. Like all women are welcomed, right? And then I
Mhm.
think the other big thing is subhanallah, like we have an organization and a system to our planning, right? Like we
Mhm.
make sure we never like guys, when we're planning behind the scenes, we meet like once a week, every month, for only 1 hour. Sometimes we don't need to meet that week because we've planned enough in the future, like enough for the month and the following month where we don't have to meet. Like in Houston, like subhanallah, like a couple weeks ago we met, and that 1 hour we planned enough events until the end of March. So
Oh
we're
wow.
just chilling.
Yeah, look
So
at
so
you.
yeah, so alhamdulillah, like like because both Robbie and I both work in corporate America, like we have that understanding of like being more professional, making sure there's a system, making sure people are coming on time, and we're just efficient with the time that we have because we don't want to waste our volunteers' time. We make sure that we get things done. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times when we're attending Muslim events, like either there's a delay or there's a lack of professionalism, people are not responding. So we make sure whether you respond to us, reach out to us on WhatsApp or on Instagram, Rabia and I are always there to respond. Like we'll send each other screenshots and be like, "Hey, we need to respond to this person." Like you and I are always on the accounts, making sure everyone is accounted for, everyone is responded for or responded to, even in our emails. Like mashallah, like we're on
Yeah.
top of things.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a
Yeah,
great teamwork, I would say. We make a
alhamdulillah.
great team, right?
We do. Alhamdulillah, we do. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
All right, guys. So, Rabia, do you want to share any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Honestly, just want to say that I'm really thankful to be here and be part of Ummati, and I am really excited to see all the new events that are coming in and new partnership that me and you will be working towards, inshallah. And yeah, like I'm excited to have fun. I'm excited to meet new people every single day, so I'm excited for that.
Alhamdulillah.
Like so many healthy things that are coming in towards for Ummati, and I'm excited for this new year. It's only February. We have a lot of time. We're gonna accomplish a lot, meet new people,
Inshallah.
inshallah. So yeah, I mean, alhamdulillah, and I'm really thank you for having me on the podcast.
Of course. And you're again, Rabia, you are the co-founder. You're welcome anytime. You're welcome anytime. But yeah, like she said, like Rabia mentioned, like alhamdulillah, we're just very grateful to be able to do this for our community, and being able to provide good quality, safe, social events for the women. Again, I want to clarify one more time: we don't call ourselves a Islamic organization. We call ourselves a adult women organization built off of Islamic values. Because alhamdulillah, we do get reverts and non-Muslims to attend. And I might have already
Mhm.
mentioned this, but I just want to reiterate it one more time. And it's just such a great way for a dawah opportunity. And honestly, and I'm a firm believer in this, Rabia. I don't know if you agree or not, but I believe the best way to teach and to showcase dawah is through action. So
Yeah.
if ourselves, we're making sure that those values we're instilling is within ourselves and within our team, those values of respect and kindness and inclusivity and a judgment-free zone. Like subhanallah, everyone else behaves the same way,
I
right? It's
agree.
positive energy is contagious, right? It's contagious.
Alhamdulillah.
And so being able to really instill that in our team, and alhamdulillah, 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 we have leadership and our team members like understand these core values to heart. And the fact that we're able, like, just a small story, but how the Houston chapter got started? I don't know if you
Mm,
remember the story.
no, I actually don't.
So our current Houston chapter president actually spent a Ramadan in Dallas a couple years ago, and she didn't know anyone. So she spent, I think, a month in Dallas or something, and the only way she like navigated the city was like because of Ummati. She came to Ummati events, she made friends, and she was like, "This is amazing. Needs to have one." And then she contacted us. She's like, "Sada, let's start a chapter in Houston." I was like, "Yes, let's do that. Exactly, let's do that." So, subhanallah, like it just starts with a message. It just starts with an idea. And
Mhm.
alhamdulillah, because we're able to provide that, alhamdulillah, it's been quite the journey, quite the blessing. And may Allah make it rewarding for us
Ameen.
and for our akhirah, inshallah, and make it easier for us to continue to grow this
Ameen.
organization together.
Ameen.
But
Ameen.
yeah, so again, Rabia, thank you so much for joining me today. Inshallah, I will have you back very soon. Guys, please remember, stay kind and respectful, and inshallah, stay tuned for our future events. And I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum.
Yalla, assalamu alaikum.